Hello, everyone.
Hello.
My name is Daniel McKee, and I'm actually joined here with Chad today. And as we're testing out some new equipment
for
our little show here.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, this is amazing.
I'm really excited because this is our fourth interview, a little Meet the Cast interview. And unfortunately, Sandra couldn't be here, but it's because we kind of spur of the moment testing out equipment here, and we're just really happy to have you here to do our little interview.
I am so glad to be here. Yeah,
Awesome,
absolutely,
man. Yeah. So we have a few questions. We're gonna try to keep it under about 20 minutes, if that's okay with you.
Okay.
And this is just a little Meet the Cast with you. All right. So
totally.
Without further ado, let me introduce Chad Gaitan. He is our video editor. He is part of just from day one, just kind of everything that we do, you're a part of, and we really would not be here if it wasn't for you.
I am the techie. For in short term words, that's who I am.
Exactly, and I think that's one of the most important parts, because without you, we wouldn't be getting as much content, or at least as good as content as we're doing, or at least that we hope that we're doing without you. So
Right.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'm so glad to be part of the intelligent world and use my abilities to the best of their ability.
Well, so let's go ahead and start with our interview, if that's cool with you. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Maybe some things you can highlight, or like your family life, your current school, what you're studying, and then we'll kind of tackle some more stuff.
Yeah, so I was born and raised here in Southern California. I went to high school with you. I think we went to Mater Dei.
Yeah, Mater Dei High School.
I'm sure we said that on the show before. And so that's how me and you met, I feel like, and Marco and other people on the show as well. I currently go to Cal State Fullerton, and I'm studying film and television, and hence why we're using all this fun equipment right now with the intelligent world.
Yeah, because you have all the connections. You know what you're doing.
That's true. Yeah, literally all the connections to everything.
He really does.
Yeah.
You should see all the different wires we have going here, and I mean, it's just a lot of good fun.
Yeah.
So,
but I've known you guys since high school. We worked at Disney together with Marco and on all three of us. So I feel like we've really bonded over these past almost like 3-4 years since we graduated. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, we met in our freshman year.
Because that was volleyball. Because we did volleyball in high school only for 1 year, and then we're like, no, we're gonna do choir and everything else. So.
But I mean, going back there, that's about 7 years now of knowing each other, which is kind of just mind-boggling that it's been so long, man.
Yeah,
so long since we graduated high school. Well, that's awesome. So Cal State Fullerton, you're studying film and TV production. So why don't you talk a little bit more about that, and maybe tie that in about like why I know you already talked about a little bit how that ties into the show, but maybe you can expand on that a little bit.
Well, I kind of feel like I've always had a passion with film and television, mainly television and live production. But I feel like ever since I was a little kid, I enjoyed just like picking up a little camera and then filming everything that I see. And in high school, I was a part of our television program that we hosted, the morning announcements every morning, and filming those.
MTV.
And MTV, yeah. So that just made my passion for this even more involved than it is now. And I feel like then I'm studying film in college right now, and I feel like it sort of kind of made me realize that maybe this is something I want to do, that maybe it's something I want to get involved with when I'm older. And then I remember you reaching out to a few of us saying like, hey, we should start a podcast, and not only is it a podcast, but it's also we want to add video, and we want to like bring some more life into it right now. So that's kind of where all this started, and kind of where I grew my passion for film.
That's awesome. Well, we actually want to hear about some of your other involvements that you kind of have going on. So why don't you talk about that for a little bit?
Yeah. So I am on my third year in college right now, and I'm hoping to either graduate in the next year or maybe the year after, maybe pick up a minor in business.
Oh, sweet.
I hopefully maybe would like to pursue a career in the business aspect of film and television. So that's pretty much it.
Awesome. Well, I mean, we've privately talked a lot about your career goals, but why don't we kind of put it all out here? What do you kind of envision yourself doing? With your major.
I feel like it would be very cool to work on either because like television's kind of phasing out. A lot of people aren't really watching that. Everyone's either all streaming or all these movies that people have at their fingertips right now.
Yeah.
And I feel like I would really enjoy working on either like a Netflix set or something that is suited in that direction in that industry. So that's kind of where I see myself in the next couple of years, or if I want to continue doing what I like to do, and that's this.
Awesome. And so you've said, again, privately, that you kind of see yourself a little bit more geared towards TV.
Right.
Because of the faster pace and stuff like that. So is that true? Is that something that you really like TV more than movies?
I think I do, because I really feel like there are two different types of people in this world. There's either film people or they're TV people.
Okay.
And I feel like TV people are more just like, they get things done right away, versus film, there's like a certain way, like especially narrative films too, there's a certain way that things have to be accomplished. And so I feel like with TV, there's a little bit more freedom and leeway in how things can be captured.
Yeah. I mean, again, we've talked about it, and I think not just I have told you this before, but I think knowing you and your personality, I think you would really be great and geared towards that faster pace of television. And I kind of see you as a comedy man.
Yeah.
So
oh, thank you.
I hope you kind of, in the future, you'll give us specials like,
totally.
you know, like anything that we kind of laugh at. I think that'd be great.
It actually, piggybacking off of that, I feel like, but I was actually I took a class last year on radio, and it was basically, the name of the class was Radio Audio Entertainment, and pretty much we created podcasts, we created a couple shorts, like 60-second commercials for a concert, or even like air checks as projects for this class. And that's kind of where I grew my passion for podcasts too, and kind of tie the live TV aspect into the podcast, and kind of merge everything together into one thing.
Well, I mean, this is a perfect project for you as we're kind of navigating what we can do. Again, this is your interview. I don't want to take too much time, but I think it's just, and I don't want to be repetitive, but I think, I mean, without you, we would only be audio. Just, again, and I think that YouTube gives us so much more flexibility, because we're able to put some other stuff out there that maybe doesn't super align with our podcast episode vision. But it's just crazy cool stuff. Plus, you know, the radio that we're doing too, that we can put on YouTube. Yeah. And we can't legally do it. Anyway, I don't want to take up too much of your time.
Copyright infringement.
Yeah, exactly. So let's talk about our next thing. So you talked about Modern Day and how we all met, and I know we've all kind of talked about that in our own interviews and in the beginning episodes. Yeah. But why don't you talk a little bit more about how you know the group and kind of how you fit into the dynamic of the brand, I guess.
Well, I feel like I said earlier, we all went to high school together, and I feel like over the past 4 years of us knowing each other in high school, we've grown closer, so much closer. Definitely. And especially after we graduate, a lot of people think that once you graduate, you're never really going to see these people ever again. But we didn't really want it to take it in that direction. We wanted to maintain our connection.
My stomach grumbled. I'm so sorry.
Anyways, so but we really wanted to keep in touch and wanted to not lose that connection, that strong connection we had within the group. Yeah. And so that's kind of where I feel like this podcast that we're doing really kind of gets us back together again, and really basically keeps us together. Yeah,
so for sure. And I think what's really cool is just how it's like a collision of worlds. How, you know, the amount of different people that we have on the show all doing their own thing. It's really cool.
Totally.
Okay, cool. So why don't you talk a little bit about the history you have with the brand? Yeah, I mean, just remember, it goes back a year, so why don't you talk about that a little bit?
With Chapman, right? Yeah, so I started back, I think it was last year, I'm pretty sure it's a year from now.
Fall 2019.
Fall 2019, yeah, as I was a part of Around the World with Chapman Radio, and it was with Marco and Leo Bead and those people. And I remember you inviting us to be on the show and to be co-host of this radio show that you're hosting with Chapman Radio. And then fast forward the following semester, and we were W cubed, or what we want, right, for a different show, and that one was even better. We got more people involved with the show. We had some more guests coming in, and we really it was really a show of what we want, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's hence the name, What We Want. But unfortunately, with the pandemic going on, and we had to shut down the in-person studio recording, and we had to kind of have to move everything to a virtual aspect, and so that's kind of been a struggle about how to still accomplish this without having to either meet all together again, or just like have to meet over Zoom or things like that. So, but we're still doing it, and when you reached out to us maybe a couple months ago saying, hey, I really want us to I want us to get involved in a podcast again. I want this to continue after we graduate and not just be tied to Chapman Radio.
I think it's about something that survives past this kind of time in our lives. For a lot of us, at least between you and me, we really loved our high school experience. We've talked about this a lot.
Right.
And college can be different. They say it's the best time of your lives for some people, and for others, it's filled with reminiscing back to the better, different things. But I think this kind of gives us the chance for the entirety of us to really make this time our own and do, like you said, get closer and make sure that we're not drifting apart or anything. So that's awesome. Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
All right, so a few more questions here. So why are you part of the team? So, like, why did you really want to be part of TIW?
I feel like it's sort of kind of has to do with two things. One, my passion with TV and radio and live broadcast, and then two, to get involved with you guys and still maintain that connection and basically have fun. That's kind of the point one. Yeah.
Awesome. So why don't you talk about a little bit more of what you actually do for the show? So, like we said, like Marco, we had him on. He already did his interview. He's part of the creative team, and Sandra's the social media coordinator. What do you do as? I don't even remember what your title was. What do you do as part
video,
of the team?
The video technician, or
as the techie,
director, technical director.
I think is
yeah. So essentially, what my job is to capture either some sort of video or create graphics for the show. So all the graphics that you see for the Intelligent World and the Intelligent World Radio, that's my job, is to create all those cool graphics that you see during our breaks and during our intros and outros. And then my second part is to put everything together and upload it to YouTube so that you guys can actually see what's going on, instead of hearing it not only on an MP3 format, but you can also see it on YouTube, and so you can see our lovely faces and not be tied to just audio and picturing us what we look like.
So you actually see what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun. So thank you again for doing that. And I don't want to sound repetitive, but again, I mean, without you, we wouldn't really be able to do all these kind of extra things that we wanted to do. So I just really appreciate you being part of the team, as everyone does. So yeah, thank you, man.
Absolutely.
Two more things for you. Penultimate one is, where do you want this to go? Yeah.
I honestly feel like it's kind of, at least right now, it's a little bit experimental. Excuse me. But I definitely want to continue this even after we graduate from college, or just something fun to do and something to get involved with. But I definitely see us like continuing this for a long period of time and see where it goes.
Yeah, well, that'd be great if we can continue to build and grow a little bit. All right, cool. So we are very great on time, and so I don't want to limit the time that the world can see you. So I actually want to extend the interview a little bit, and forgive me if I put you on the spot for a sec, but what do you think, or what's one thing that has been your favorite thing to do in the past, like in the past month, since we started?
Yeah.
Is there one episode or one little project that has really stood out to you that you've really enjoyed?
I feel like I've really enjoyed creating the, I think it was the Disney podcast that we did, or the Disney exclusive on YouTube.
Exclusive,
the YouTube exclusive, yeah. And it was, for those of you guys who haven't seen it, it's pretty much a fireside chat between me, Daniel, and Marco, and we all worked at Disneyland for about a year before we closed due to the pandemic, and we basically talked about our experience working there, and I feel like that was one of my favorite shows to record in the past month that I've been involved with this.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else I can ask you to extend this little interview, but excuse me, I'm so sorry. We'll have to edit that out. I think we can leave with this. Chad, is there anything else you kind of want to say to your audience, or is there anything else that you wished I would have asked you, or anything else you want to say about anything? Really?
I think one thing I want to say is follow your dreams and passions.
Here we go.
Yeah, that's
Look,
what I'm gonna leave right there.
Camera.
Right into the camera right there. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, Chad, thank you so much for being on the show today, and thank you so much for for being interviewed. And again, just thank you for doing everything that you do for the show, all the video, helping me do the audio, buying equipment, and being so invested in this thing. And I see us going really far too. And so, thank you for all the passion and love that you put in, because it's all of our little baby project. So
Totally.
Appreciate it, man.
Absolutely.
All right, buddy.
Love it.
Thanks, man. And continue to check out our content. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Listen to us wherever you listen to your podcasts. This will be a podcast itself as well. So, and if you want to reach out to us, right, you can email us.
Email us. Fill the Google form down in the description.
Exactly. And
message us on Instagram.
Text me. No, don't do that. You don't even. Yeah.
Call him too. Phone number's down in the description.
It will not be. No. Anyway. Yeah. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
Of course.
All right, man.